I mean, I've experienced, Prof, as a Deputy Dean Research and Development at Fakulti Perniagaan and Pengurusan course at LIZA, right? That I can call it as a mantan here. And also about publication, a lot of journal article, page index, and so on. And it's very, it's very, I mean, it's a very good experience, very, that I can see is a lot of article journals wrote by Prof and also conference proceedings. So, without further ado, I would like to call upon Prof. Dr. Zainudin Awang to deliver the speech. Welcome, Prof.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, is it okay?
Yes, Prof. To you, yes.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, thank you, Associate Professor Dr. Sazlin, for inviting me. Okay, to give a knowledge sharing. I share my knowledge today regarding the research and structural equation modeling and some methodology. Okay, and also the moderator for today, Dr. Nolida. Thank you very much. Welcome to the program, the postgraduate students from UTeM, okay, and also the lecturers. Actually, what is structural equation modeling? What is SEM? Okay, SEM is structural equation modeling, and this is the what we call it the second generation method. Okay, okay. I would like to share with you. Let's say you have this type of model, okay, to analyze. How you are going to analyze this? Okay, this is the framework consists of five construct and 12 hypotheses to be tested. Okay, okay. In this case, the construct has two independent construct. We call it independent. In SEM, we call it exogenous. Two independent construct, namely financial literacy, social influence. Two independent construct. Two mediator construct, namely financial attitude and financial retirement planning. So financial attitude, financial retirement planning are two mediator construct, and one dependent construct called voluntary saving decision. So this type of model, you cannot analyze using other method, but structural equation modeling. Okay, to get things straightforward, this is the conversion from the framework, okay, to the real measure of framework. Here, the financial literacy measured using three components. FL component number 1, FL component number 2, FL component number 3. We call it component. Due to the what? The result of exploratory factor analysis. So you can imagine financial literacy, here financial literacy has many items to measure, questioning items. When you conduct the what we call the exploratory factor analysis, you come up with 3 components. Okay, just take a look. We go back. Okay, go back. This is the framework of the study. This is the framework with component to measure the construct. Okay, and we convert into SEM and get the result. So this is what is structural equation modeling all about. Okay, get the result, get the hypothesis testing, and get the conclusion. Okay, finish. Okay, so to get from here, okay, modeling voluntary saving model for future retirement planning in Malaysia. This is the PhD title of one of my students graduated this semester. Okay, this year 2021, I have 11 PhD graduate graduated already. I mean, got Senate letter, waiting for the convocation sometime in November. 11 of them graduated, and this is one of them. And I share two or three theses so that you may follow. Okay, here, okay, this is the framework of the study. This is the conversion of a framework, and you convert into AMOS, then you get the result. Okay, you get the result. How to resolve it later. And this is another result. And this is the interpretation. Interpretation also given by IBM SPS as AMOS. This is the software, and one software that run SEM called IBM SPS as AMOS. And this is the result. The conclusion already. Okay, whether the mediator supported or not, the direct effect is supported or not. Okay, so finish. Okay, now let's go into another PowerPoint. This is the use of structural equation modeling in research. Okay, I'm going to cover what is SEM. Okay, what is SEM? Okay, type of SEM. There are SEM. Remember, there are two types: SEM, PLSM. Okay. Previously, if you read the previous literature, structural equation modeling is synonym with they call it covariance structure modeling. Covariance. Okay. Because the study is about mean, variance, and covariance. There are three angles of analysis. Whereas PLSM cannot be called PLS, cannot be called SEM because it does not have one element called covariance. So PLSM only analyze from the angle of mean and variance. That's why, you know, sometimes PLSM, they call it VB-SEM, variance-based SEM. Whereas SEM is covariance-based SEM. Covariance mean analyze is from what? Mean, variance, covariance. Three angle. Okay, three aspect. Whereas the VB-SEM is from mean and variance. So VB-SEM cannot be called SEM. It is not SEM. Okay. When you call SEM means CB-SEM. The other one is partially square SEM or half SEM. Okay, half SEM. Okay. And number three, I'm going to cover about the use and misuse. The use of SEM, and number four, misuse. Sometimes you're supposed to run SEM, but you run PLSM. This time no. PLSM is not SEM. This only close to SEM. Okay, partially square SEM is not SEM. So they misuse because students take advantage of, you know, the confuse, the doubt, benefit of the doubt. Some supervisor, some lecturer still not familiar, still mix up between PLSM and SEM. Okay, student give SEM, PLSM, and tell them that this is SEM. Then supervisor say, oh, okay, no, this is SEM. Okay, whereas it is not. Okay, and I would like to highlight why student prefer to use PLSM, because they violate because the data cannot meet the requirement of independently, meaning that data biased, identically, meaning that the target population are heterogeneous, and another one is what? Normally distributed data is skewed. Okay, why bias independently means data is biased? Identically means the population or the target population is heterogeneous, should be homogeneous, and the data not normal. Why? This is because the error from the candidate, from the students, from the researcher. Because of what? Fail in doing research methodology properly. Research methodology properly in terms of scale, in terms of method of sampling, in terms of heterogeneous population, in terms of sampling, bias sampling, all are what? Rubbish data, rubbish data. Okay? Then you cannot proceed using SEM because SEM is parametric. Parametric means the data must be stringent. The discipline must follow properly. You are going to conclusion of the population. Make conclusion to the population from the what? From the data that you collect. If you fail to meet the requirement that data is biased, sampling method wrong, data not normal, how are you going to conclude? How you are going to generalize? Okay? So they said, the salesman said, never mind, you make all mistake, you collect rubbish instead of collecting data, never mind. We use PLSM, which is wrong. This is a wrong claim, should not be the claim. Okay? Okay. Hold on, let me off my other. Okay, and okay, solution to all mistakes, use PLSM. This is the misuse. Okay, this is the misuse. The developer of PLSM is not meant for this. They say their software is not meant for analyzing the rubbish. It's not meant for this. But the salesmen who are interested to sell the software to you say that never mind, you use Smart PLS, which is wrong. Again, I say which is wrong. So supervisors take this seriously. If the data, the action meaning that the data fail, data fail to what? To proceed, to do analysis. PLSM is not the solution. The mistake made by researcher, okay, cannot be corrected by using software. Software is not meant to correct mistake by the researcher. Software cannot correct biased data, cannot correct, non-normality data, and so on. Okay, okay. And who made this claim? The salesman. Because he said, okay, you buy our product, then your problem settled, which is not, which is a wrong claim. Okay, what is SEM? Okay, according to Head All, SEM is among the most advanced statistical analysis technique that emerged in recent decades. Number one. Number two, SEM is a class of multivariate technique that combine aspects of factor analysis and regression, enabling the researcher to simultaneously model and examine the relationship. Okay, as I showed just now, you have the model. There are many relationship in the model that you need to examine. Using SEM, you can examine simultaneously. Okay. And number three, considering the importance of analyzing latent construct. This time around, okay, we analyze data that involve, consumer perception, consumer attitude, customer attention, performance, etc., etc., emotional intelligence. So we cannot analyze using regression. Because regression only analyze variable like income, expenditure. Whereas, okay, you measure consumer perception, customer satisfaction, for example, customer loyalty. It involves questionnaires. It involves items. So involve item means construct. Okay. Okay. SEM. SEM. When I say SEM means CB SEM, not BB SEM. BB SEM is not SEM. It is only a PLS SEM, partially square SEM. SEM means full SEM. Okay. Remember, there are three stages of research, of analysis. The first one is regression. We call it OLS, ordinary least square regression. Higher than regression is partial least square SEM, PLS SEM. Higher than that is SEM. So three level. Okay. So SEM can analyze the model with latent construct. Latent construct is a construct that involves measuring using questionnaire. Run confirmatory factor analysis. Analyze multiple equations simultaneously. Analyze regressions with multicollinearity problem. Analyze path analysis with multiple dependent. Remember, when you use regression, it only multiple independent, multiple X. What if you have more than one Y, multiple dependent? So regression can analyze. You can analyze using SEM. Okay. Estimate correlation, covariance. Model interrelationship simultaneously. To model and test mediating. To model and test moderating. So construct can be independent construct, dependent construct, mediator construct, and moderator construct. Okay, in your research. Okay, type of SEM. Okay, there are two approaches to estimate the relationship in a structural equation model, namely PLS SEM and SEM. According to Head all 2010, 2011, 2012, A, and 2013. Okay, remember, there are two approaches. One is PLS-SEM, one is SEM. Okay. When to use PLS-SEM, when to use SEM is important. Okay, when to use PLS-SEM and when to use SEM is important for you to know. Okay, here, if you're supposed to use SEM, you use PLS-SEM. There is misuse. Misuse. Okay. 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 A. Each is appropriate for different research objective. Remember, depend on your research objective. Okay. If the examiner asks you, why you use, okay, tell us, okay, explain to us why you use SEM, for example. You must tell them that. Okay. This is the study that involve theory testing. Theory testing. The model involved with theory. So all hypotheses in this model are theory testing hypothesis. Then only appropriate you use SEM. However, if for A, okay, theory testing, you use PLSM, which is wrong already. Wrong already. But benefit of the doubt to do that, students still can use it because not many examiners knows this. Not many examiners knows this. Okay, that you know the difference between theory testing model and theory development model. Okay. B, researchers should focus on the characteristic and objective that distinguish the two methods. You as a researcher must focus. Ask yourself, is your study is theory development study or theory testing study? The difference between theory development and theory testing is the hypothesis development. Hypothesis development. The hypothesis development is supported, okay, by previous study, meaning that this is already established. Not you, you only want to test the theory testing. Okay, go to C. In situation where theory is less developed, no theory, you begin, okay, research with no solid theory to support the framework. The framework is only try and error, for example. Then you should consider the use of PLSM as an alternative to SEM. Remember, even if you use PLSM, even if you say that, oh, my study, I think I can use PLSM, but that is only as an alternative, not final. Okay. 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 Remember, once a PLSM is employed, the study is considered what? Exploratory study, theory development study. No longer theory testing study. Okay. D. The estimation procedure in PLSM is ordinary least square, which is equivalent to regression. Equivalent to SPSS regression. The software, the algorithm, or the estimator, we call it OLS, ordinary least square. However, in a proper SEM, in full SEM, the algorithm to compute, to estimate the parameter is maximum likelihood, MLE, which is much sophisticated and much accurate. Okay, don't worry. You have this in the folder called PowerPoint. One folder, I think folder number 8 or number 9. I'm not sure. PowerPoint. Okay, so the use of structural equation modeling. You can play. You can you can do my for presentation so that you can have the what we call it the question, okay, to ask after this. Hold on. Okay, okay, let's move on. Okay, if any problem, okay, the admin, you can WhatsApp me whether you can hear me. Yeah.
Can I interrupt you? I want maybe our participant cannot clear your voice, so they ask you, can you be louder, please, Prof?
Oh, okay. Not clear. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me set it to be louder. Okay, let me set the speaker to be louder. Okay. Is it okay now? Is it okay? Hello?
Yeah, for me, should be no problem. The rest, I think, hopefully okay. Because there is no...
Better, Prof. Better.
Better.
Yeah,
Okay,
because they are not... Yeah.
Okay. Okay, what to do? Okay.
They mentioned okay.
Okay. Thank you. So the theory less developed, where theory less developed, PLSM as an alternative to SEM. Okay. Alternative. But once you use PLSM, the study is considered exploratory. So that's why in Viva, for example, if the examiner knows that your study is theory testing, and yet student use theory development method, or the theory the study should be confirmatory. Instead, the student use the exploratory method. This is wrong, no? But it's okay nowadays because not many examiner knows about this. Okay, let's move on. Okay, SEM or PLSM. Okay, so you look at the time period. The first generation method, we call it first generation. Now we are in second generation. Type of statistical analysis, there are two: exploratory, the other one is confirmatory. Okay, so previously, first generation method, we have confirmatory study. We use ANOVA, we use logistic regression, we use regression, t-test, z-test, etc. If the study is exploratory, we use EFA, cluster analysis, multidimensional scaling. That's other exploratory study previously. Now, when come to second generation method, okay, confirmatory study, we use SEM, or we call it CB-SEM. Why CB? Because it is covariant based. Covariant based means the analysis is from main variant, three angle, three aspect. VB-SEM. Why VB-SEM? Because it only study from the mean and variance. So that's why PB-SEM is not enough. SEM is not SEM. It's not enough one, which is covariance analysis. So that's why we call it VB-SEM or PLSM. Okay, so PLSM and SEM. So in terms of software that run PLSM, Smart PLS, Walk PLS, Visual PLS, SPED PLS, PLS Graph, Edenco. There are 6. Now 10 software already. Okay, but they know if you ask them why you use Smart PLS, because the objective of our study, blah blah blah. Understand? Okay, but never said that why you use Smart PLS. Well, because my data is not normal. Wrong, you know. As if you say because my data is rubbish. Understand or not? Because the data is not normal. The data is, you know, the method of sampling is not a probability. The data is biased. The data is small. So that is not the reason for using PLSM. That is only the reason used by the salesman. Because between PLSM and SEM, okay, especially SPSS, AMOS, you can get it for free. Because university purchase most of the number 1, number 2, number 3. Okay? University purchase number 4. University purchase, but not in our country. In our country, you have 1, 2, 3. AMOS, LISRE, SAS, Strategy Application Software. SAS, Big Data Software is SAS. Okay, and PLSM, none, no university purchase this. And that's why they use their business concept is using salesmen. If they ask you to buy and use this one, and they ask you to pay. Minimum is 190. Last time 200 per month. Now it's 190 per month. Okay, so you study, okay, 50 months, for example. Okay, how many thousand you pay for the software? But CBSM, you can download, use as usual. Okay, okay. This is the difference between CBSM and VBSM. Okay. So okay, CBSM. So I that's why I give this to you so that you can sit down and properly read this. Okay. Okay. So if I explain, this is too technical, too statistic. Okay. So you go to final advice using PLSPM over CBSM. That's why I know one of the article, they don't even use SEM for PLSM. They call it PLSPM. It's not. That's why I say not qualified to be called SEM. You go to many article, journal article, they don't use PLS because not enough to say SEM, to mention SEM, because it is a long way to go. Okay, so using PLSPM over CBSM due to non-normal data is inappropriate. Never use this because data non-normal is your mistake. You collect data, the data is biased, or maybe questionnaire is one-sided questionnaire. It's biased questionnaire already. So leading to non-normal data. Non-normal data is what? It's wrong. It's rubbish data. You're supposed to, give questionnaire to the engineer, for example, okay, to the top management, because the target population of the study are engineers. But you cannot find engineer. You give to office boy, or maybe the personal assistant to the engineer to answer the questionnaire. Or maybe the student answer on their own, because to get the response very difficult. The student, not the student or PhD student, but the assistant researcher who collect data for you, fill up the software, the questionnaire. And the data is not normal. Why? Because of what? Deliberately wrong. Wrong in method of data collection, data. And you say that, oh, never mind, the data is not normal, never mind. You use this software. It's wrong to claim that. Only salesmen talk about that. Because they have money. Number 2, insufficient sample size can be used with two-stage least square, but regression, but not with PLS. Okay. Number 3, using VBSM for small sample from large population is also inappropriate. So that's why using VBSM, okay, you cannot say that you are talking about teachers, 20,000 teachers. You collect 80 or 70 teachers. Then you say that, oh, my sample size is small, I can use smart PLS, for example, which is also wrong, inappropriate. Okay, okay, confirmatory versus exploratory. Okay, these are the differences. Okay, okay, confirmatory replicate established theory into new domain. Okay, exploratory develop new model based on lack of evidence of fact. That is exploratory study, where you can employ what? PLSM. Okay. Replicate means the study has been conducted before. The instrument also available. You obtain instrument, you modify. The model has been done before, but you replicate the model. You intro independent construct, introduce mediator, introduce moderator, then you replicate. Understand? Okay, so confirmatory study. Okay, then ask yourself whether your study is confirmatory or exploratory. Second is for estimation purpose. Estimate the parameter. The other one is for prediction. Okay. Confirmatory, you go to number 3. Theory-driven research. Theory-driven means before you collect data, you specify the framework based on theory. That is called theory-driven research. For exploratory, it's not based on theory. You collect data first. You model the framework first. Then only you relate what theory to describe this relationship. Okay, so need to understand this. Okay, very well. Okay, I give this to you. Okay, this is the note. Huh? Okay, history of multivariate analysis. As I said, number 1, OLS. Number 2, PLSM. Partialist question. Number 3 is structural equation modeling. Okay, so comparison between SEM and PLSM, as I say, okay, you go to objective. Theory testing, theory comparison, and theory confirmation. If your PhD is about to test theory, to compare, and to confirm whether the same theory that has been tested somewhere is confirmed in this population, for example. And approach is called parametric approach. Okay, and you can assess the model within fitness indexes. They call it global model fit or global fitness index. Whereas PLSN, okay, is theory prediction. Okay. Literature support. Never mind. Okay, these are the fitness index under SEM. So PLSN no index to show. Okay. Okay. Caution. Many researchers apply statistical procedure without comprehensive understanding of its basic foundation and principle. Okay. And researchers often fail in understanding of what? Conceptual background of research problem under study, which should be grounded in theory and applied in management. So, as a researcher, you need to understand. Okay, you carry out with research without comprehensive understanding. Okay, it's dangerous. Okay, conceptual background, indicator construct misspecification, inappropriate use of necessary measurement step, okay, evident, and inaccurate use of sample size and population under study. Okay, so you don't understand this one, never mind. What you need to understand is what? Okay, knowing the objective of your study, determine which method is suitable. Okay, if your method is suitable, if you how to know confirmatory and exploratory, go back to the definition here. Go back to this definition. Never mind, maybe 1 or 2 years you are still safe. Okay? Your study should be confirmatory, but you employ exploratory method of analysis. You are safe because not many examiners understand. Not many supervisors know this. One day, one day, maybe 1 year later or 2 years later, they know already. Oh, your study is confirmatory. Why you use exploratory method? Then the game is over. Okay. Okay. So in the meantime, make sure you use the correct method. Okay. Correct method. Okay. The role of theory in academic research. Academic research is grounded in theory. Academic research begins with theory. We should be confirmed or rejected. That's why our study, our test hypothesis, whether support or not support. Okay? What support or not support? Theory. We test hypothesis. Hypothesis developed based on what? Theory. Remember in chapter 2, hypothesis development. You develop the hypothesis based on what? You discuss about literature and the theory before you come up with hypothesis statement. Then the hypothesis statement is tested and tested whether supported or not supported. What supported, not supported? Theory. Okay. Okay. SEM is strictly theory driven. As I said, the moment you develop the framework, what theory you employ? Understand? That is theory driven research. Even, you want to what? Create, to develop the instrument to measure the construct also based on theory. You cannot simply develop, the questionnaire. Oh, there's no such thing, okay? PLSM is also based on some theoretical foundation, but its goal is to predict the behavior of the relationship and to explore. To explore, not to confirm, to explore. Okay? Limitation. You remember when you use PLSM, there are limitation. Okay? The use of theory testing and theory confirmation is limited since it has no global fitness index to confirm. No index to confirm whether the framework you specify, the model specify, understand. Nothing to confirm. For example, whether you are healthy or not healthy, no index to confirm. No glucose index, no cholesterol index, no high blood pressure, okay, measures to confirm. So in PLS, nothing. You can confirm. You cannot confirm anything. Okay. Okay. PLSM parameter estimate is not optimal because it has bias. You call it PLSM bias. PLS is not recommended as universal alternative to SEM for theory testing, meaning that, okay, in case where you cannot use SEM, you can use PLSM. SEM, let's say higher level, you cannot employ higher level, you go down one step lower and employ partially square SEM, but it is not recommended as universal alternative. You know alternative? Okay, when there is no rice, you can eat what? Jagung, corn. Okay, so as an alternative. Okay. Okay, so number 3, researchers need to apply SEM technique that best suit their research objective, data characteristic, and what? Model setup. Okay, so that's why here and also researchers need to apply SEM technique that best suit the objective of the study. Data characteristic means normal data. Okay, and again you repeat. Okay, and the misuse. So this is the misuse. Nowadays, many many, as I said, many researcher misuse. Okay, the data cannot meet the requirement of SEM. They go down, use PLSM and claim that as good as SEM. So this is misuse. Understand? You cannot meet this requirement. You go down step. You said that, yeah. So you cannot claim. This is the misuse. Cannot claim. The student can claim. Why? Because the supervisor don't understand. Understand? The supervisor need to understand. The student knows already. Understand? The student knows. Many students knows. They went to workshop. They read. Article. Okay. They know that. Okay. They know that the data is biased. Okay. The data is not normal because of their own mistake. Not doing probability sampling, not doing normal, selection. Unbiased selection of respondent. Okay, and that data not normal. Okay, wrong scale. You should be using what we call the interval scale to measure the opinion. You use ordinal scale. Understand? And all these not met the requirement of parametric test. Why you don't do this? Because you fail research methodology. Some of students did not go to research method class. In some university, 2 weeks after registration of PhD student, they conduct thorough research methodology class so that student knows the method of sampling, method of data collection, method of questionnaire development, how you modify the questionnaire, how you pretest the questionnaire, how you conduct what we call the exploratory factor analysis. These are all the method. But some students, not all, some students did not go to the class. Then once the proposal passed, they just simply collect data. Finally, the data is wrong. No, data is rubbish. Okay. And solution, they say, okay, now I use PLSM. The moment you ask, I have a problem with my data, the salesman will automatically tell you, okay, use our what software. As I say, no software can correct the mistake of man, a researcher. Okay. You're supposed to be what? Interview or giving should give the questionnaire to the teachers, to the engineers. Okay, because only the engineer can give you the fair and correct information that you ask regarding their job specification, regarding their emotional intelligence, regarding their job performance, etc., etc. But because of wrong in data collection, you give to the the spouse of the engineer, spouse, wife of engineer, or maybe give to the personal assistant, the clerk. Then of course your data is rubbish. Understand? Then quickly, you okay, salesman come to you, okay, never mind, you pay us 200, we download the software to you, you run the software, you get the result. You use any software, you get the result. It's not that you get the result because rubbish in, rubbish out. Understand? Okay, that's what we call it misuse. For example, small sample size is most often abuse argument associated with the use of PLSM. Some students, why you use PLSM? Because my sample is small. Okay. So the result of this misrepresentation has been skepticism in general about PLSM. Who said head of 2013? Because he knows that many researchers give this reason for using, which is wrong. So sample size in PLSM is essentially built on the property of OLS, ordinary least square. So you follow OLS, okay? or you can use G power, etc. So there's no such thing as what 30 sample, 20 sample. Okay, so as I say, no, you just stay away from the salesman. You want to buy something, if you listen to salesmen, they are only interested to sell the product. Understand? Okay, the salesman of used car, for example, okay, tell you that this car is good, this car is this car is still new, no accident, for example. They tell you because they want to sell. Okay, okay, so in SEM, we have to validate the measurement model. See the fitness index there, the factor loading, the measurement error, etc. Okay, delete factor loading, check the fitness index, etc., etc. Modify. Okay, then you run the regression equation. I mean the modeling. Okay, and in PLSN you don't have such thing. See, straight away you use what measurement model, use PLSN. No measurement error. Here you got measurement error R. Here no measurement error. Here you get residual, etc., etc. E. E1, E2, here nothing. Very simple. No index, no measurement error, no residual. See? Nothing. So which is very, very simple. Okay. So okay, the rest I leave it to you to go through. For now, if any question, I am happy to answer the question regarding this first step, first stage for today. Okay, any question?
All right, Prof, one question's here. So I read here. All right. Hi, Prof, what is the rationale for including a mediator or moderator in the model?
Okay.
It appears, let me see again. It appears, wait. Sorry.
Okay, I understand the question. I understand the question. Okay. In other, okay, I repeat. What the reason?
Sorry, Prof. It appears that researchers are simply including a mediator or moderator in their model in order to test it. That is the questions.
Okay. So when you want to include mediator or moderator, you must have the reason. In this case, for example, okay, let me okay, screen. Okay, hold on. Okay, I take pointer, highlighter. Okay, here the pointer function. Okay, in this case, okay, this is mediator, one mediator. This is another mediator. Okay, what is this? This is independent construct or some. This is another independent construct. This is what? Dependent what? Dependent construct. Okay, the difference between construct and variable are only one measure. For example, age. For example, your height. For example, income. But you are talking about construct, you are measured using multiple items in questionnaire. To measure financial literacy, you have, let's say, 20 items in the questionnaire. To measure social influence, you have many items. Okay, here, mediator, okay, some people just put mediator. Okay, if I ask, good question. In Viva, I almost every 2 weeks I attended Viva, either as a chairman of Viva, either as external examiner or internal examiner. Okay. So you follow my methodology. I share with you the Viva correction. Okay. Viva correction. The name, the what signature, I just focus on the correction made by the examiner. Okay, here, remember, can you see financial literacy? Financial literacy. What is this? Social influence. What is this? Financial attitude. What is this? Financial retirement plan. What is this? Voluntary saving decision. Okay, if I ask the student, okay, why you include in your model financial attitude as a mediator, financial retirement planning is as a mediator. So it seems like you have two mediators in the study. Okay, whereas your intention is to predict or to check the relationship between what? Financial literacy, social influence, and the final one. Final one is DB. Okay, so how financial literacy and financial and social influence the or relate to voluntary saving decision? The student should answer like this. Wrong answer is like this. Oh, this is a PhD model, so my advisor say I have mediator in the model because the model is PhD. No, that is wrong. Okay, you should answer this. Okay, from my study, from research, from literature, the study found that the link between financial literacy and financial attitude to voluntary saving decision is through financial attitude. Why? Because financial literacy and social influence has to trigger financial attitude, to change attitude. Understand? Your financial literacy, your financial knowledge, the people that you go out with, you socialize with, okay? Social influence. Social influence is what? Is how you how the society influence you. And literacy, meaning that the knowledge, the readings, the literature that you read, the reading, the news that you know, should change your attitude. Understand? You will not do immediately saving. Before doing saving, attitude has to change. When attitude change, you will do the planning. When the planning change, then when the planning occurs, that is why when you put the mediator, you must rationalize. Understand? I give you another example. Okay, here is service quality. This is simple. Service quality. SQ. This is customer loyalty. And those who are doing business, they know the customer loyal. Okay. Service quality is the one that is what? Provided by the company. But before service quality go into loyalty, good service quality will not turn loyal customer. But if the company manage to get customer satisfaction as a mediator, meaning that service quality produce customer satisfaction. Satisfied customer will become loyal customer. So that's why mediator is required. Why required customer satisfaction? The answer is without satisfaction, service quality will not produce loyalty. So in this model, we need a mediator. Okay, any other question? Hopefully it is clear. Okay, any other question?
If I'm not mistaken, have a participant would like to ask you. Yes, please, Dr. Fadrul.
Okay, go ahead. You unmute. If someone want to ask question, you unmute. I cannot read the okay.
Okay, one question, Prof. Assalamualaikum, Prof. This is from
Okay.
who? Datin Fazila. All right,
Okay.
sorry. Okay. Salam Prof, may I know, is it possible for us to reduce hypothesis? It is possible for us to reduce hypothesis. For example, since the study using
Mr. O?
mediator, hypothesis for IV direct relationship to DV can be removed. That's the
Yes.
question.
Yes, good question. Okay, here I give you a example here. Okay. Or maybe okay, maybe I use another method. Okay, hold on. This card. Okay. Okay, in this case you have hypothesis. Okay. Yes. Okay, this one the one that you want to ask. Okay. You can reduce this hypothesis. Let me get the pointer. Okay, pen. This hypothesis can be reduced. Okay, this is direct effect hypothesis. Okay, let's say you want to prove this as a mediator. Financial what? Financial attitude as a mediator. So this hypothesis is a must. H1, H2. Okay, but not this one. No need. You can reduce. Because, okay, I give you example. Let's say this is your construct. This is your mediator. This is another construct. The required hypothesis is this one. 1, 2. We call it indirect effect hypothesis. Indirect effect 1. This one is indirect effect number 2. This is direct effect. So you can reduce direct effect. Okay. Okay. Any other? Okay. So the answer is yes. You can reduce the hypothesis. Okay. Okay. Okay, I want to run this model, okay, properly. This is my student. Okay. Exogenous, remember when you run SEM, okay, properly, you write article, you write the thesis, variable, you don't call it independent variable. You call it exogenous. Dependent, you don't call it dependent, you call it endogenous. Okay. The framework, volume saving decision, framework, methodology. This is the Viva PowerPoint. Okay, research design, target population, sample size, data collection, method of sampling, method of analysis. So methodology is very important. Okay, who is your target population? Senior school teachers, grade 44 and above, not all teachers. Because the study is about voluntary saving decision. If new teachers, they are not in the stage to save. They want to survive first. Okay. If, for example, a lecturer, for example, you are new lecturer. Okay. Not when you are new, you are not intention to save, voluntary saving. You want to purchase house, purchase a car, isn't it? To invest after some time. After you got the lecturer is what senior lecturer, associate professor. When you go to a professor, then only you have what financial freedom, for example. Okay, then only the time for you to save. Okay, that's why when you target population, you must rationalize. Okay, so these are the exploratory. Okay, this is the framework resulted from EFA. Okay, exploratory factor analysis. You get this framework. From this framework, you go through confirmatory factor analysis. Okay, if I have time, I show you how to conduct confirmatory factor analysis. you go to report, CFA report, and so on. Then this is the confirmatory factor analysis for pool model. Okay. Then validity, discriminant validity, normality, etc. Then only the data, input data input, then the result. Then you got all the interpretation. So to make it sure, I give this to you. And this is the testing for mediation. You can test a mediator. Yeah, test. Okay, before I go this to maybe too much, I intend to go into overview first. Unless you have question. Okay, I want to
Yes,
yes.
yes. Have another questions, Prof. Excuse me, I'm so sorry because just now the question that I mentioned there is from PhD student Fauziana, not from Datin Fazila. Okay, now this is the questions from Datin Fazila. Assalamualaikum, Prof. Nowadays, it
Okay,
is very difficult to get people to answer questions. Any
Okay.
suggestion to get more respondents?
Okay. That should be under research methodology class. Okay, actually to answer question, there are few methods. For example, to get the our respondent involved, involved in the study. Okay, that is important through the what we call it the cover letter. At the same time, you give the call, what we call it the friendly call. Okay, nowadays it's like this. When you want to collect data, okay, for example, okay, my respondent, my target population are lecturers, public university lecturers, and UTeM is one of my is my place where I need to get the respondent. First of all, okay, I obtain the list of lecturer that qualified to be my respondent. For example, senior lecturer. Okay, so I obtain the list of senior lecturers. Maybe I don't know, maybe 200 senior lecturers. From that 200 senior lecturers, I select randomly. Maybe I select 20. So based on the list that I have, I selected 20, and I have the phone number of the selected respondent because I obtained the info. I got the email number. Then before I send the questionnaire to the selected respondent, I send a friendly maybe reminder. Thank you. Your name has been selected as our respondent in this study. This study is about blah blah blah, and your participation in my study is very important to determine the success and failure of my study. You can answer at your sincere, very sincere level. You can give any opinion. There is no wrong or right answer. No, what we call no identity. You should live. We are not interested to get your identity. Understand? We only interested to get your opinion regarding, the government, effort, COVID-19, for example. Understand? Then only you send a questionnaire. And after some time, you send again the reminder to participate. Okay. For those who hard to give, feedback is for no reason whatsoever. Finally, I found, questionnaire sent to my handphone, to my WhatsApp, sent to to my email, for example, from nowhere. I don't even know this person, for example. Then that is very difficult to get. Or maybe in the group, for example, I have a group of SEM, structure equation modeling by Dr. Zainudin Awang. I have almost 2,000 followers. Or maybe in another group, this Telegram group, another group in FB private group. The other one is almost 2,000. The other one is another 2,000. Suddenly, somebody sent to my Telegram without asking, without permission. Finally, I saw the link to to the questionnaire, then of course not many people are willing to participate because they don't want to even spend 10 minutes of their time. If you get proper, if you give proper, maybe introduction, maybe asking for their response, cooperation, etc., then only they give a correct answer. Because sometimes you send to my WhatsApp group, for example, we don't know that we are the target population. If you are talking about lecturers, senior lecturers of UTeM, for example, okay. So first of all, should obtain the list of lecturers in UTeM. Get the information. Select them randomly. Don't simply send to anybody in UTeM. Maybe the student will. The postgraduate student answer is wrong, and which is not just wrong, but in the first place to get the response is very difficult. Okay.
Okay, Prof.
Okay. So okay.
Yes, have
Thank
another
you.
questions, Prof. Maybe this one from Dr. Mama Aidil Hashim. This one maybe related with Fauziana's question just now. He mentioned that means no need to show the different effects. That is the questions.
Different
Okay,
effect?
one more question. Yeah.
No.
I'm sure.
What effect?
Yeah.
What effect?
Maybe Muhammad Aidil Hashim, can you explain a little bit more, or can you ask direct to the Prof, because I'm also do not understand what the question that you want to posit here. All right. So another question, Prof, from Dr. Fadrul Rahim. What if we modify? What if we modified little bit existing theory and added new construct based on literature on the model? Can we use full SEM or PLS?
No, if we are talking about replicate, no, you modify, meaning that you have replicated the previous model. Okay, and at the same time, your intention, you want to test the theory, you test hypothesis, or you simply want to get, explore the relationship. So it's different between theory testing or hypothesis testing, and at the same time, the intention when you obtain the result. To compare with the result, there is a confirmatory study. Okay, so exploratory study, we are not comparing the result that you get with the result obtained by, researchers at the other part of the world, for example. Okay. Okay. So here, let's move into overview first. Overview. What is SEM? What is SEM? Okay. So I put here, researchers are advancing theory. Theory. We are talking about theory. Theory concerning the interrelationship among variable or construct. Okay, so this is called theory-based model. You begin framework with theory, meaning that this theory, for example, this one, you don't simply sketch here. You sketch based on certain theory. So theory testing. So you convert like this, okay, and this is the hypothesis. Okay, hypothesis. Okay, hypothesis 1, 2, 3, 4 direct effect. If someone asked me just now, for example, here no need the hypothesis. Otherwise, too many hypotheses. No need hypothesis. Okay, here no need hypothesis. Here no need. Here also no need. Here also need. So you reduce 4 hypotheses. Okay. This is the framework of the study. I mean the framework, hypothesis, and method of analysis. Okay, so what I'm doing today is how to employ the method to test this hypothesis. Okay, hypothesis. If you ask me how to develop questionnaire, how to do sampling, there is research methodology. It's another, another field I'm doing also. But here, I'm here today is to show you how to conduct the analysis of the framework using SEM. This is SEM. Before that, you must get the hypothesis correct. So this one I give to you. No problem. Okay. And this is how to test mediator. Mediator using what? Bootstrapping. Okay. I just want to show you a few more. Okay. Here, framework. Okay. From here, what you need to do is, from here, you convert into Amos syntax, like this. So I show you, the data input will be here. At the box here, data input. 1, 2, 3, 4, input for financial resource planning. 1 for financial literacy. 1, 2, 3, 4, input for financial attitude. 1, 2, 3, input for social influence. So that's why somebody asked me, why you have a social attitude, financial attitude as a mediator? Is it you simply put? I said, no. The theory says that, okay, financial literacy should increase attitude. If financial literacy positive, your attitude toward finance also positive. If influenced by social positive, your attitude also positive. The theory also said that if you financial attitude positive, you will result into financial resource planning. If planning positive, you will save voluntarily. So this is the theory. What theory is depend. What theory are you using? Some theories call theory of planned behavior, theory of reason action, social exchange theory, all theories. Okay. Okay, you go some more. Okay, this one you read. Okay, result. That's why the best thing about the beauty about SEM, first of all, the software is sophisticated, but you can get it for free because the university purchased this. This is SPSS Amos. Okay, SPSS Amos. If I'm here to teach you SEM using LISRA, you cannot afford to pay because you don't have LISRA software. If I want to teach today using M+, also you are not able to do it because don't have that software. You also don't have that software. If I come here to teach you what PLSM, first of all, this model is not meant for PLSM. It's not meant for PLSM because this is their theory testing. Firstly, secondly is I don't have the software. You also don't have, because that software you have to purchase. Even though that software is not very sophisticated, but you still need to purchase because university did not buy for you. Understand? Okay. So the only software, I'm not the salesman of the software. No, the only software that is available to you, free, even though the software is very sophisticated, is the one that is, purchased by the university. Last time I went to UTeM. In the smart classroom, you have SEM, you have Amos, understand? But nobody can, nobody. Not many. Not many are able to employ it, to use it. You should learn and make use of that, because you pay 200 ringgit per month for unnecessary payment. To me, is not wise. Okay, never mind.
One more question, Prof.
The beauty about sex to show whether I want to give the lecture first. Okay. Okay. Whether the model that is specified fit with the data that you collect. This is called fitness index. Understand? So if the model fit, then you say that okay, the model that I specify and the data that I collect are what? In synchronized. Then you can start interpreting the result. Okay, result, R squared, and so on. Okay, so I give this so that you know how to read the result. For example, 0.52 here. Here, 0.52. What is that? Amos tells you, no, Amos tells you. Okay, another one is this one, result. the hypothesis. Okay. Okay. Another frame model is this one. This model. Also, the what we call it the confirmatory study, because from organizational climate to intelligence is a theory. From organizational culture to satisfaction also theory. So all these are bounded by theory. Understand? So this is theory testing. That's why I said this one. So the study is confirmatory. So the method must be method, whether SPSS Amos, Lisrel, M+, sequential path analysis, SAS, there are 10 altogether. Okay, so here, again, I use SPSS because this software is available in my university, okay? This is the hypothesis. So that's why when you read this note, this book, H1, what is this? It tells you organizational culture has significant and direct effect on emotional intelligence. Okay. So this is what you want to prove. You want to prove H1, you want to prove that culture has effect positive on intelligence. The positive the culture, the higher the emotional intelligence among the people. This is the hypothesis statement that you want to prove. Okay, then how to analyze? Again, framework. Okay. Okay, culture, you have goal setting culture, training program, work setting. We call it this question, this construct called organization culture. How about emotional intelligence, service orientation, optimism, social as to measure intelligence. How about commitment? You have affirmative commitment, continuous commitment, and normative commitment. This is called emotional and organizational commitment. How about job satisfaction, personal relationship, favorable working condition, and good promotion? These are job satisfaction. And how you model convert into AMOS. So this framework, you need to understand. When framework, you develop theory, you present the proposal, okay, and finally accepted. Once accepted, you are worried how to measure this one using questionnaire. You collect data, pilot study data, then you run EFA, then you get the component like this. Then you collect data. From here, you convert into AMOS. See, AMOS. This is residual. The framework, this one, no AMOS yet. When you convert into, you must put one residual here. And how to put residual? Read the book. Okay. Okay. So here, this is in AMOS, in SPS AMOS graphic method. Okay. Okay. From here, convert into AMOS, then you are ready to input data. You input this data, goal setting data, training program data, work setting data. You input all this, then you get estimate of the shape. Okay. When you input, you got the value here. This value is used to test the hypothesis and so on. Okay, this value is being estimated by the algorithm, by the software. Okay, another one, okay. Beta. Then you get the result. The significant or not obtained. After this, I show you the AMOS. Just a glance through. Okay, never mind. It is difficult, so never mind. Okay, I want to show you the hold on. Hold on, the one. Okay, why SEM? Okay, why SEM? Okay, okay, here, chapter number 2. Estimating regression model using SEM. Okay, just now, I thought about SEM. Now, normal regression that you use, but you want to use SEM. For example, here, maybe engineering people. Okay, you have one variable. Remember, in SEM, the construct is measured by, is indicated by ellipse. Ellipse. This is construct. This one is called variable. Variable can be, engineering, engineering variable. Maybe this one is temperature. Temperature is a measure, the heat, for example. And this is the effect of the heat on something effect. One-headed arrow called effect or influence or impact. Impact. Okay. For example, in medical, you have one medicine, or maybe you give a vaccine or steroid, for example, impact on your high blood pressure. The same can impact your what? Your energy level. The same can impact your body temperature. So meaning that one component, one variable can influence 1, 2, 3 other variables. Understand? Okay. So how are you going to model and estimate if not using SEM? You can use regression. So this regression, then you are going to have 3 regression equations. So this one, y, isn't it? Is a function of x1. This one, y2, is a function of x1 also. This one, y3, is a function of x1 also. So meaning the x1 has 1, 2, 3 effect. Then you want to measure simultaneous. If you measure directly separately, you can use regression. Simultaneous, you convert here into SEM. So this one regression. First equation. Second equation. Then you can run and estimate all this simultaneously. But first of all, you need to convert. I convert into Amos. Okay, what is this? E1. What is E1? Residual in the first regression equation. What is this? E2. What is this? Residual in the second equation. What is this? E3. What is this? Residual in the third equation. So residual. You model, you must have residual. Okay. When you run, you are going to get like this. See? Okay. So you can get SS Amos as well as Israel, but you don't have money to buy. These are very expensive. Even IBM SPSS Amos also expensive. A single user, 5,000. Single user, Okay. But consider cheaper compared to PLS, because PLS you pay 200 ringgit per month. Okay, 10 months, 2,000 already. About 30 months, 6,000. Okay, this one 5,000. The whole year. I mean, forever. Better. So you can compare the effect of one variable on 3 dependent variables. For example, if of x1 on y1, 0.71, on y2, 0.69, on y3, negative 0.52. Okay? Okay, so you can test the hypothesis. Okay. More complicated model, more complicated. Can you run this using other software? Cannot. You have 1, 2, 3 independent variable, 1, 2, 3 dependent variable. How are you going to model? You want to estimate? For example, you want to estimate x1, okay, simultaneously on y1, y2, y3. At the same time, you want to estimate x2 on y1, y2, y3. Same thing, you want to estimate x3 on y1, y2, y3. The only thing you need to do is to understand. You have what? This equation. 3 multiple regression, you can estimate simultaneously. What you need to do is what? Okay, you see the equation here, E1, here, E2 is here, E3 is here. So we have multiple regression equation. At the same time, this one you estimate regression here. At the same time, you can estimate the correlation. So the beauty of AMOS is you can estimate regression, at the same time, correlation. When you run, you get the result of regression beta. At the same time, what? Correlation. Okay. Why? Because you need to check to confirm that the correlation exceed 0.85. We call it the problem has the model has multicollinearity problem. Okay. So this one is available in the book, in folder. You can read this. Okay. Why I use this? Because I know that in science, engineering, in medical, in architecture, okay, in mechanical engineer, they don't collect data using questionnaire. They don't measure your job satisfaction. They don't measure your opinion, whether you are satisfied with the project or not. Understand? They want to model the effect of one chemical on some other mechanical chemicals, for example, temperature on what? Or in medicine, one drugs on body glucose, on your what we call it, cholesterol, meaning that one variable on another variable, one variable here, another variable. Okay, variable. If construct is like this, one construct with 10 items on another construct, that is social science. 3 items on customer loyalty, for example. But research in medical, engineering, they apply pressure. Medical, they apply a certain, a certain amount of drug, for example. Not just that, they want to measure the chain reaction. Effect, let's say this is X1 on Y1. And after this, Y1 on Z1. Z1 on what? W1, for example. This can be estimated by the algorithm. But if you use regression, you can only use one part only. One part. Then you run again another part. Then you have to do it 3 times in order to estimate this relationship alone. Another one, another 3 times, for example. Okay. So here. So this one, beta 1. This one, beta 2 from X1. From X1 on Y1 0.29, but from X2 to Y1 0.27. You can use the what we call it multiple comparison. From X3 you get 0.37. So you can compare here from 3 different variable on one dependent variable. At the same time, you can compare from one independent variable until Y1. X1 give 0.29 on Y2. It give 0.20 on Y3. It give negative. It is from X1 alone. You can compare from X2 to Y1. Here, this one. X2 to Y2. X2 to Y3, for example. So there's a lot of analysis that can be made using what? Using IBM CSS more. You can estimate the regression equation. You get this result. So same thing like this, you know. As I said, okay, you have performance efficacy on e-procurement, e-procurement usage, and on performance impact. So here you can estimate, and here you can estimate. So you have this. Okay, what you need to do is what? Convert into Amos. So you must understand how to convert your framework. This is the framework, hypothesis of the study framework, to the what? To the equation in Amos. Amos graphic syntax. Okay, so you need to estimate the correlation between the variable and the construct. You need to put the what? The residual. Here also residual because here is IV to here. Here is to DV. Remember DV, IV to DV, you must have one residual. Remember regression equation? Y equal to beta 0 plus beta 1 x 1 plus what? E. What is this? Residual. Okay. So you have this is x on, let's say, y must have one residual called E. E1. So this regression equation in a normal regression equivalent to this one. Okay, so you have two, for example, you have here, okay, y equal to beta 0 plus beta 1 x 1 plus beta 2 x 2 plus E. This is in regression. Then you want to convert into regression using Amos. Then you have two independent, x1, x2. So you put here, you draw. Here is x1. You draw another box called x2, and you put here as y. So you say that the effect of x1 and x2 on y. So this is E, one E only. Then between these two independent, you must have one correlation, because you want Amos to estimate the regression at the same time the correlation. Why? Because you want to check whether the model involves multicollinearity or not. Okay, so this is regression using IBM SPSS Amos. Regression, this is our regression. How you know regression? Involve the rectangle, kotak, rectangle. Okay, so this is regression. If involved like this, x1 on y, this is regression. You must have one residual here. Same is like this. X1 is not measured by one figure. For example, x1 is service quality perception. You measure using 5 items in questionnaire. So the respondent answer service quality, question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And you want to study the effect of service quality on, on satisfaction, for example. You draw like this. Customer satisfaction, how many items? And you put one residual. So here is regression, here is SEM. What's the difference between regression? Involve variable, SEM involve construct. What's the difference between variable and construct? Variable is one measure. Construct, service quality using many measures. Remember, okay, to input, you must input into the box. You input the value here, you put a value here, you can estimate the beta here. You put the value here, input value here, estimate the beta here. Okay, same thing. Okay, but if you use regression, normal regression, you can estimate up to this only. This is regression, multiple regression. But to go one step more, you need to use what? Regression in Amos. Amos regression can estimate. Okay, can estimate extra, Okay. Okay, extra, meaning that from here to here, then from here. Okay, so finish. So at least you get idea. Amos, SPSS Amos can run regression, okay, as well as structural equation modeling. Okay, okay. These are the framework that give you. I mean the this model, this one, the framework I give to you, the folder. Inside the folder, you have the book. Okay, this is, you can read the book. Another book is SEM Simple 2015. So maybe tonight, okay, you try to read, okay, what is SEM? You can open the book and read the book. Okay, you may, this book published by MPWS. You may, download into your WhatsApp, your computer, handphone. Then every day, just go through. No need to bring the textbook with you. Okay, this is free. At least you learn what is Amos. If somebody asks you what is Amos, Amos. Okay, Amos is this analysis of moment structures. It's not famous Amos, this is software. Okay, why one need to employ Amos? You read, at least you understand. Framework like this can run using Amos? Yes. How to convert? Like this. Okay, then is how to read the output. Of course, this is not easy, but you can do it. Example, Amos in research, you can see amount of drug administered, the effect on degree of wellness depend on level of count. What is this? Moderator. This is moderator. Okay, so a lot of example. Okay, the question that.
Yes, one more question, Prof. Okay, from Mama Aidil Hashim. He asked about how many measurement items is required in order to develop one construct in IBM SPSS Amos.
What?
How many measurement items is required in order to develop one construct in IBM SPSS Amos?
Okay. So, okay, I open this, this folder. In this folder, I give you the what we call the, hold on, got PowerPoint research instrument. You open folder number 6. You open this one. Okay, you go to research instrument. Okay, pretest. Okay, hold on. Okay, this one. Let's say you open the first one. Okay, this one. Okay. In answering that question, for example, how many items to measure? Okay, okay. Here, turnover intention. For example, how many items? 1, 2, 3, 4 items. So you don't develop. You adapt from previous study. Then you change. You modify. You don't sit down and develop the question. The questionnaire. No. For example, okay, you want to work, okay, social support, for example. You want to you want to measure, okay, maybe in the your model, you have social support as a construct. Or maybe I go to another one. Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay. Okay, hold on. Burn out, for example, burn out. Okay. So, for example, you want to measure you want to develop the construct measure burn out. Understand? You don't sit down and draft the questionnaire. No. You download, you read the literature. Who are the researcher that develop the instrument to measure burnout? There are many researchers that already developed the instrument. So you don't sit down and develop how, if you ask me, I mean, how many questions, meaning that as if you want to sit down and how many questions that you want to draft. No, you adapt from previous study. Or maybe, okay, from this person, okay, you adapt. This person is UTeM and Rosanti, PhD in management, PhD in management. You are doing a PhD in management also. For example, then your model involve burnout. For example, okay, maybe let me answer you properly. Maybe your model involve burnout, the effect of burnout. Okay, burnout, BA burnout. Burnout, productivity or maybe productivity or maybe performance. Okay, so this is your framework. Burnout, this one is performance. Okay, or maybe productivity. Then you don't sit down and develop questionnaire. You go and search in literature. Search in literature. So this person also search in literature. So from literature search, maybe there are many researchers called A, B, C, D. All are researchers that develop instrument to measure burnout. Then you after going through, after writing in the literature, you decided which one you want to adapt. Maybe you want to adapt by B, developed by D. Maybe 20 items, 20 questionnaire, up to 20. Then the questionnaire that developed by D, you change only the wordings, Understand the wordings? Okay. So if you read this thesis, the thesis, she will tell you in thesis whose instrument that she adapt. Okay. So how many items altogether? 16 items. 16 items. So not that, I don't want 16 items, I want only 5 items. No, because you adapt from them. Okay, then adapt, you change. You change the wordings, for example. Okay, then to meet your study. Okay, so remember, we don't create questionnaire. We adapt and modify. Remember, adapt and modify. Okay, that's why in research, maybe you go through a Prof method. You need to pre-test first. Expert, you need to appoint expert to pre-test, for example, to comment on the questionnaire that you develop, you modify, not develop, modify. You get the expert to comment, to amend, to change, understand whether what you do is correct or not. Okay. Okay. Then only do the pilot study and exploratory factor analysis. And before that, you need to appoint expert. This evidence are required in your viva thesis. Okay, who are the expert that validate your instrument? You must have this example, this evidence in the what we call the appendix of your thesis. You must have this evidence. Your university name, logo, then the appointed lead, expert. Then you need to show evidence, Example, okay. I got one from UTeM. Let me open. Okay, pre-testing. You need to show this as evidence, evidence in your what we call it, in your thesis appendix. Here is the what? What is this? Halal supply risk. Halal supply risk. Okay. What is this? Risk consequences. So this one is what? Independent construct. This is dependent construct. So he want to model halal supply risk consists of halal price risk 4, halal quality risk 7, halal delivery risk 8. On consequence halal 9 item. So 9 item he adapt and modify. What is this? Moderator mitigation strategy. Okay, so these are the item that this person adapt from the question. Understand? Okay, adapt. Okay, so ada question lain tak? Okay, so here.
Yes, Prof. One more question from RNN. What if the population of my study does not have a sampling frame? Can I use a MOS to analyze the data?
Oh, the question are related to research methodology. As if, I mean, the research methodology among these postgraduate students very poor. I think you need to conduct one workshop on research method. This is research method. Okay, so let me answer. Never mind. Of course, when you want to conduct study, you don't have some of the population. You don't have the target population, the what we call it sampling frame. For example, you want to measure, you want to study on the on those who experience going to Terengganu, for example. Okay, or tourists who come to Terengganu. Or tourists who visited me don't have the sampling frame. How are you going to sample tourists who visited Melaka? So what you can do is, if you don't have sampling frame, you develop sampling frame. How to develop sampling frame? Is by giving questionnaire to all tourists. You find tourists who visited Melaka, you give questionnaire. You find tourists who visit Melaka, you give questionnaire. So the method of sampling here is called a convenience sampling. Convenience, meaning that you station at one place, the visitor, the tourist, you give questionnaire. Why you do this? Because you want to develop the sampling frame. Once you have, let's say, enough, let's say 5,000 over 6 months, you have 5,000 questionnaire that you collect through using this method. Then you develop the sampling frame. So you have 5,000 sampling frame that you develop based on the questionnaire that you collect. So there you sample using probability sampling. The same thing, you ask question to me, how I can choose the winner for dinner tonight. We have 10 prizes for the winner, for the lucky winner in the lucky draw. Okay, how I'm going to select, for example, I'm going to select the sample of the winner. If I don't have the sampling frame, I don't know who tonight. I'm select, for example. So I say develop sampling frame. How you develop sampling frame? Before dinner start, you ask the participant to what? To put the ticket in the box. Everybody put the ticket in the box. Or if you don't have ticket already, come forward and write the name. Understand? Or come and take the number and keep this number because we will take the lucky draw. Make the lucky draw after 1 hour after dinner, for example. So we develop the framework. Then from that framework, we randomly select customer. I mean the winner. If otherwise, if you don't have the framework, you give the winner as you like. Understand? Using convenience sampling. Who in the car? Okay, I give to you. Why? Because I know you. It's not fair. Okay, so the answer for the research who do not have the sampling frame is to develop sampling frame. How to develop sampling frame? Collect data using convenience sampling. After getting enough data, develop sampling frame based on that. Then sample. Okay, that's the answer. Okay, we take a break. Okay, we have another 1 hour. Okay.
For how long?
After this, I want to demo.
We want to take break. 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
5 minutes. 5. 5 minutes.
Take 5, Prof.
5 minutes. I take 5.
5 minutes.
Okay,
minutes.
yes.
Okay, take 5. All
5.
right. Yes.
5.
We should
Okay.
take 5. So we continue back around 4:06. Yeah. Now for once.
Yes.
For 1 minute, we
Okay,
continue for 6. Okay.
Okay, bye.
Okay, so we can continue, Prof.
Okay, can. Ada
Yes.
soalan ke?
Right
Ya.
now tak ada, Prof.
Ada
Nothing.
saya nak tanya. Okay. Okay. Uh, dapat dengar kah? Is it
Yes,
clear?
Prof. Saya dengar. Yes.
Okay. 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 Saya nak tunjuk. Okay, I want to show the lecture note first. Okay, lecture note. Okay. In lecture note. Okay. Lecture note introduction to IPTK SPSS. Okay, this one you can read. Okay, tonight. Okay. Intro. Introduction. For example, modeling the chain of interrelationship among variable. Example here. Okay. Here there is no way that the researcher can analyze without using IBM SPSS AMOS. Okay, for example, engineering. So what you need to do is what? Convert. Here I explain how the conversion. Okay, from here is the framework. Then you convert. Then you input data. You got the output. Okay. How to get the output? Okay, let's go. Okay. Hopefully I have time. Okay. Here I want to show you another one. Okay, another one. This one easy. Anybody can discussion material. For example, this is the framework you have. Simple framework, no mediator, x1, x2, and y. And if I draw like this, means x1, x2, and y are three constructs, not variable construct. And these are the item. Okay, x1, 5 item, x2, 4 item, y, 4 items. Okay. Now, suppose that you want to run this using regression. This is the result that you get. Okay. Why? Because this one, x1, you take mean score of 5 items, you call it x1. You have 4 items here, you call it x2, and you have y. So your regression equation is like this. Okay. Okay. So for doing regression, which is no longer valid, wrong already, is by taking the score of all items, means score, call it x1. All the score, you call it x2. All the score, you call it y. Then your model is simply y equal to what? Beta 0 plus beta 1 x1 plus e. No, not plus e. Plus beta 2 x2 plus e. So meaning that you have multiple regression. X1, x2, y. So this is multiple regression. X1, x2, y. Then you run using regression. Then you get this. This is traditional regression. Hopefully you know already. But you want to use SEM regression. Okay? SEM regression or regression in AMOS. You take the mean score here. Here, the mean score of 5, same. So we input like this. Okay, meaning that x1, the mean score of 3 item, 4 item, 4 items. So what you need to have is what? This one, and this one. This only you need to have. From the framework, like this. You need to have what? Put one residual, and this one x1 and x2. You need to have what? Double-headed arrow. Then you input data. Okay, I can hands-on tissue and so on, but you need to understand the concept. When you input data, you run, you get the figure here. 0.39. Okay, is x1 on y. The other one is 0.33. x1 on y. This is regression and standardized regression. 0.33, 0.31 is equivalent to this one. See? Okay. Okay, this one 0.329 is 0.33. Okay. 0.329 get 0.33. Okay. Okay. This is 0.33. This one 0.33. This one is I cannot see. Okay, 0.39. 0.39 is this one. You got two output, right? Yeah. X1 beta 0.391. Standardized beta is 0.3 what? 0.325, 0.33. So you are going to get here 0.39. The other one is 0.33, this one. So same thing, this one. 0.357 is 0.36. This one 0.321 is 0.32. So 0.36, 0.32. We're going to get here 0.36. Another one here is 0.32. Okay, what I'm showing here is regression using SPSS regression. You got this output using AMOS. You get this framework, you convert, you get this, and you get this. Okay, so this is graphic output. Then you get the result. Okay, now you say that, oh, okay, I want to use AMOS, SEM, because my model is like this. Remember the first model I show you? This. X1 has 5 items, X2 has 4 items, X3, Y has 4 items. So you convert into AMOS, you are going to get like this. Get like this. Then you say that, okay, I want to use PLSM, not smart PLS, PLSM using AMOS. AMOS can run PLSM. Not only smart PLS, but PLSM in AMOS. Meaning that no CFA, no confirmatory factor analysis. You skip CFA, then you can run PLSM in AMOS. So you draw like this, no CFA, you input data, you got output. Understand? Okay, you draw and use item as it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 item. You got output. This is PLSM. No index, no index, no index, no fitness index. No fitness index, no CFA. So PLSM. You got the result also, no problem. But you say, oh, I don't want to use PLSM. I want to use full SEM. Full SEM means this is the framework. You cannot input yet. Data yet. You have to go through what we call it confirmatory factor analysis, where you need to show the what? Index. You need to show the correlation between construct. Understand? So this is SEM. This is PLSM. Remember? Don't get me wrong. If I say PLS, what? I mean method, not to method. Method. Smart PLS is tool. So I don't refer to smart PLS, When I say PLSM, I'm talking about PLSM method. Understand? Smart PLS is software. So I'm using PLSM in AMOS. The same thing, after that you can use PLSM in Smart PLS. Okay, now I want to use SEM. Also in Amos. Regression, remember Amos can run apa? Regression, PLSM and SEM, Amos. How the Amos regression looks like? Just now, this one. This is Amos regression. Amos regression using what? Input data, variable input, Amos regression. This is Amos PLSM. No index, nothing but Amos SEM, what? CFA first. Show the index. This is CFA index. How you know CFA in structural model? Double-headed arrow. Double-headed. CFA. Okay. After doing CFA, then you do finish and do SEM. In CFA, you need to delete item. So delete item which has low factor loading, less than 0.6, delete. 0.57, less than 0.6, delete. Okay. 0.53, less than 0.56, delete. Why you need to delete? Because the model not fit. Model does not fit. So need to delete bad item. Need to delete bad item. You get the value here. 0.933, 0.892. When not good, it is like this. 0.878, 0.82, for example. Okay, so this is after CFA. This is after CFA. The model is good now. But still, this is CFA model. CFA model, not yet SEM. SEM is this one. This is SEM. Why you don't have this? Because of CFA. Why you delete this one? CFA. Why you have this? CFA. So CFA means SEM. Without CFA means PLSM. Then you get the result. Same thing here. Okay? With index. So this is confirmatory. Why? Because the fitness index show that the data from the field fit with the model that you specify. You specify model, you collect data. Whether what you specify fit the data you collect from the field, you should using fitness index. In PLS, no fitness index, no residual. You must have residual. How much residual? 0.76. What is the measurement error? Yeah, it's measurement error. Whether the item statement you collect, okay, you have error when the respondent measure. I mean, when it gives you whether the respondent you collect is real respondent, real target population, and also whether the respondent cooperate with you or not. If real respondent, but she or they do not cooperate, they simply, tick the answer. So you are going to get very high measurement error. Okay, my error, and very high residual. Error in equation is called residual. Okay, so you get the result. So this one same result. Okay, same result. Okay, you can compare. I give to you. You can compare same result with PLSM result. This is PLSM result. Okay, now this one. Okay, PLSM result, and this one is regression result using Amos. And this one, regression result using SPSS. So the same model, the same data, you can run using regression SPSS, AMOS SPS. I mean regression SPSS, AMOS regression, AMOS PLSM, and AMOS SEM. Okay. Okay.
Prof,
Finish,
one question, Prof, related with this one.
Okay.
Okay, from Dr. Al-Amin, is that wrong if the student include CFA in the report but using PLS SEM?
Okay. Okay. PLS SEM, you include, it's not wrong, but unnecessary. It made no difference. The study is still exploratory. So if you want to really do CFA index, fitness index is part of CFA because fitness index explain about the construct validity. You do CFA without showing the index is not complete. In the first place, you don't have to. For example, understand now? You don't go to the palace. You have no business going to the palace because you don't receive the award. Datuk Sheikh, for example, why you need to wear the costume as if you are going to the palace, for example. Your model PLSM is PLS. Sam, what's the business of doing what CFA? Even if you do CFA also, it's not complete. You don't show the fitness index. And fitness index is part of CFA that confirm the construct validity. Remember CFA validates construct validity, convergent validity, discriminant validity, and composite reliability. But you don't have the index, mean you cannot show the construct validity. What's the purpose? For example, isn't it? You don't have to. As if you are extra work recognized only by the salesman. Okay. Okay. So any other question related to this? Okay, never mind. Okay, I show you.
This time. Okay, thank you, Prof.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. So knowledge sharing only, there's nothing to do with, it's okay. You can use smart PLS, no problem. Because I'm not against smart PLS. No, that's not my intention. What I'm saying is, first of all, it is exploratory. Secondly, it costs you money. Okay, so same thing. I want to use this one using regression and SEM. So I don't want to use PLSM. Remember, when I say PLSM, what I mean is method PLSM, not software. Remember, don't get me wrong. They say that I'm against smart PLS. No, that is not against the software. What I mean is against the method. For example, if the study is confirmatory like this, and you use PLS regression in AMO. Also wrong. PLS regression means method. Regardless of method in AMOS or method in what? In even smart PLS, Edenco PLS, what PLS. There are a lot, graph PLS. Isn't it? So it's not smart PLS is one. No. Okay. For example, okay, research framework for the study. This is a real study by one of the students. Okay, so he studied model about computational thinking, programming attitude, computing attitude, thinking style, and he want to model against computational thinking. So the questionnaire for computational thinking consists of what? Measure what? Algorithm, creativity, algorithm, cooperativity, critical thinking, and problem solving. Component of progressiveness, negativity, necessity. Component on competent attitude, differentiation, comfort, interest, classroom career, on thinking style, legislative, executive, and judicial. So you have this student has 3 hypotheses to test. Okay, so to do using regression. Okay, so using regression, these are the same thing. It's just that when using regression, regardless whether you have many items, you have many component, you have to take the mean score, one score only. So you get the result using regression. Okay, the framework and using regression. If I were the student, the framework I use the Amos regression. Amos regression is one framework and run using SPSS regression. Framework can use Amos regression. It's like this. You get the result on the what we call it the graphic result. Okay, but the Prof analyze data using SEM. SEM from here you convert into here, then you get the result. Okay, result. Okay, so this is the ultimate, ultimate. Okay, method you have the lowest is regression, the lowest is regression using SPSS, lowest. Higher than that is regression using Amos, higher than that. Because you are one step higher, you show the result on the framework. Okay, regression using Amos. Amos. The lowest is regression using this one. Lowest result, no graphic output. To get graphic output, IBM SPS Amos, but still function is what? Regression function. Okay, regression function, and higher than that is the using IBM SPS Amos SEM. So we don't I don't show PLSM here. Okay, here you get this. How you know? I mean, why this is important? Because you can show the contribution by the component. Okay, I show you the why is this good. Here is beta. This is R squared 0.65. This one standardized beta. This is the correlation between programming attitude and computing attitude 0.47. This correlation between programming attitude and thinking style 0.43. This between computing attitude and thinking style 0.56. Okay, what is this? This is the factor loading. You can compare programming attitude, willingness, negativity, necessity. Which one more contribute to programming attitude? You look here. Negativity is the number 1, followed by willingness. Last but not least is the necessity. All 1, 2, 3 contribute to what? Programming attitude. So same thing like here. Okay, thinking style. You can see the first is executive thinking style. Second is what? Legislative. Third is what? Judicial, for example. At the same time, you can check the beta. Beta 1, standardized beta. As in SPS Amos. This is called standardized beta or standardized regression. This is the regression. This is the real beta, real regression, real beta. 0.17 beta programming on competence style, 0.32 and 0.34. So thinking style is the number 1, followed by computational style, attitude, and what? Thinking attitude, programming attitude. Okay, what is this? This is the residual. Then you know your model, whether the model is good or not. Check the residual, check the error, for example. What is this? This is the measurement error. For example, measurement error for necessity. The highest is measurement error for necessity, followed by willingness, followed by negativity. When I say measurement error, I mean the way the respondent understand the concept term. So here, for example, the most confused is this statement on judicial. The best is on executive. For example, the lowest, the highest, the higher the measurement error is the worst. Dia kata more fluctuate. Understand? So same thing. This one, model is good. Why? Because the residual is small. Residual small means the prediction is more accurate. Okay. So here. So I have this, I give this in your folder, you can open. Okay, okay. One more thing is I want to open the Smart PLS output. Okay, at least you can see this is the Smart PLS output. Show you nothing, no fitness index. No fitness index. No fitness index. Huh? Okay. Okay. No what? Another one. No residual. Supposed to be when you model, you must have E here. Remember? Y equal to what? Beta 0 plus what? E. No measurement error. Okay. And no correlation between and construct. Supposed to be you measure whether this construct is correlated or not. Same thing. So no correlation between construct. Okay. So you don't have fitness index. You cannot show whether the model fit data or not. No measurement error. Number two. You don't show, you don't tell whether what you measure from the respondent, how much is the error in measurement, whether the sampling is correct or measurement error low. Understand? Method of data collection correct, no bias response, measurement error low. Okay, no correlation. No correlation means you don't know whether among the construct there are redundant construct, whether there exists multicollinearity or not. So you have nothing to show. That's why it is so simple. How you know data normal or not normal? Because it does not show the residual. Oh, no fear, no fear. So meaning that to me, this is like a scam, a scam. To me, I don't know. This is too simple, too misleading. Okay, so nothing to show. How you model, you don't have error even, remember I tell you, the basic regression class, you go, 1 y equal to beta 0 plus beta 1 x plus what? Residual. No residual. Nothing. Okay? So, for example here, you go to here, for example now. Okay? Okay, I can show you the okay, using SEM. SEM. What's the residual? This is the residual. What's the correlation between construct? This is the one. If this one is greater than 0.81, greater than 0.85, you are talking about multicollinearity problem, redundant. So you don't have evidence to show redundancy. You don't have evidence to show fitness. You don't have evidence to show residual, how good the big data is. And you don't have the evidence to show the measurement error. Then what you have to show? What you have? What you have? Only color. Blue, blue like this is what's the PKR color? Yellow like this is one color, whatever. Sorry. Okay. Okay, I'm joking only. Okay. Okay, so it's time for me to show the okay, to show the application. I prepared a lot. I thought we have enough practice session. Okay, okay. This is the second order. Second order. I want to open this one. Okay. 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 This one. What is this? Model, the framework. Okay. Most of the time it is like this. No. You model organizational performance, organization performance. Organization performance as a dependent construct. HRM, Human Resource Management Practices, as the independent construct, or we call it endogenous. Mediator number one is service innovation. Mediator number two is organizational commitment. Okay, so again, why you need a service innovation? Because HRM practices will not produce organization performance unless it goes through service innovation. So HRM practices has to produce organization commitment. Commitment then only produce performance. Innovation produce performance. So that's why we need innovation and commitment, because HRM practices directly on performance. The study said no. You do the HRM practices, it will not guarantee performance unless HRM practices produce service innovation, unless HRM practices produce organization commitment, then only performance occur. This is what we call it mediator. So if the examiner or maybe your friend, why you have mediator in the relationship between HRM practices and performance? Because HRM practices does not guarantee performance unless there is service innovation occur in the organization. Then from service innovation, it has performance. So we test number H3. So H1 produce service innovation, and from service innovation, H3 produce performance. So don't answer when the examiner asks you, why you have mediator? Oh, because this is PhD model, my PhD model must be complicated. That is not the answer, okay? So from here, the framework convert into what? What is this? Component. Why you have component? Because from theory, commitment you have effective commitment, continuous commitment, and normative commitment. Okay, and from here you convert into CFA, complementary factor analysis. Then you run. Okay. Proof. You need to prove no relationship, no correlation between any construct, okay, has greater than 0.85, none. Okay. Then only you go to, see, you got the result. As good as it is. This is what we call what? Structural equation modeling in IBM SPSS AMOS. Okay, and before that, okay, I want to show you. Okay, for example, let's look at the data. Okay, go to data. This one, view data. Then you are going to get the data in IBM SPSS. Okay. So IBM SPSS must belong to IBM SPSS. How you know? You go to analyze, you go look at the bottom here there. This is IBM SPSS Amos. Meaning that IBM SPSS Amos belong to SPSS Amos. Belong to SPSS. No, IBM SPSS Amos belong to IBM SPSS. Okay? As part of the analysis under SPSS. That is why you don't have to pay subscription fee because it belongs to SPS. It's just that you go down when you want to run regression. This is the one that I said regression just now. The what we call it, the traditional regression. Okay, and when you want to go to exploratory factor analysis, this one factor. We want to go to compute the Chromebook, this one. Understand? All this belong to SPSS. Even if you use smart PLS also, you have to use dimension reduction in order to do EFA. Smart PLS, smart PLS, no CFA function. You want to compute Chromebook reliability, you have to come to SPSS. Understand? Okay. When you want to do the SPSS, I mean what we call it SEM, you use that belong to SPSS, which is more sophisticated. Just press here. You're going to get Amos. This is Amos. Okay. Let's Amos. Okay. You need to you press here, then you know the analysis properties of Amos. You go to estimation. Then you are very, you feel very good that Amos has how many algorithms to calculate maximum likelihood, generalized least square, unweighted least square, scale free, asymptotically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gear. If analogy, your car, you have fifth gear, like Mercedes, whatever, fifth gear, like that. That is 7 gear. Okay. The algorithm in SPS, is this one only. Generalized square is equivalent to regression, SPSS regression only. Understand? Yeah, this one only. Because PLS don't have the sophisticated algorithm called maximum likelihood. Okay? You can do bias checking. You can pick what output you want, and you can what bootstrap. How many bootstrap algorithm you have? 1. ADF, 2. Maximum likelihood, 3. GLS, 4. SLS, 5. ULS, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Monte Carlo parametric bootstrapping. 7 is this one, Wallenstein bootstrap. Okay, 7 bootstrap algorithm you have in IBM SPSS Amos, as opposed to only 1 in Smart PLS. Okay, but why IBM SPSS Amos? You don't know. Nobody talk about this. Nobody promote. No. Good thing about them, they don't expect you to become client because they have big organization client already. They don't entertain student of the university because university purchase. Understand? Other software they are hoping that you purchase that, then only they make money. You pay 200 ringgit per month. That is the money that they can use. But for IBM SPSS, university pay how many thousand? I think 20,000 per year. I forgot. Last time 80,000. I mean, SAS 80,000. SPSS I forgot. Okay, never mind. So you see, okay, bias, output, bootstrapping, permutation, randomization, all these you can use the output that you can use in IBM, SPSS, AMOS. What you need to do is what? Download. In UTeM, you already have in the lab, Techno Usahawan lab. Last time I went there and teach, I think 3 days workshop. Okay. In UI, ke Bandaraya, Associate Professor Dr. Hairiri, my friend, invited me last time. Okay, so what I mean is, you have this in your university. Why don't you make use of this? Okay, one or few of you become resource person train. Okay, using the lab, train. Okay, get my material, no problem. I share with you all material. Okay, so in AMOS, okay, for example, just now I open this one, initial framework, from initial framework, real framework, from real framework convert into SPSS, AMOS, then input the data. Okay, input data, hold on. Okay, I have already opened, okay, this one. Input data, then you get the result. See? What result you have? Okay, if you don't understand to read, okay, you press here. Press here is text output. Press text, you're going to get like this. Then you get the estimate. It tells you, okay, see, the model, when I run the model just now, okay, look for the model, okay, this one, okay, normality, assessment of normality, this one, look at the skewness. In SPSS AMOS, okay, you don't have to show the data to be normal. Don't worry. Don't worry. If you have, data non-normal, you can bootstrap. So same thing, if you use Smart PLS, they bootstrap for you. But the algorithm, bootstrap algorithm is poor. You better bootstrap using AMOS because you can choose. Okay, maximum likelihood estimator. Okay, what's this? You can check the outlier. See, observation farthest from the center is outlier. You can check the look for the model. AMOS tells you, okay, whether the result is good or not. Put then minimum was achieved. AMOS does not simply produce output rubbish in, rubbish out. After you input rubbish, you get output rubbish. AMOS tells you this rubbish is not acceptable. Okay, but other software they don't tell you. Okay, produce whether acceptable or not. But in AMOS it tells you minimum was achieved. So you can use this, the what we call it as the output. Then estimate here. AMOS tells you, okay, what relationship you want to test? HRM practices to service innovation. Okay, which one? Okay, be specific. Oh, this one. So you can present, your paper. You can present conference using AMOS. You don't have to convert into PowerPoint. You can play the role. Okay, this one. Oh, this one. This one means this one. Okay. Go to here. Beta is 0.6. HRM practices to service innovation 0.6. Okay, service innovation to performance is 0.34. So you mean this one, HRM practices innovation. Okay, let's take a look here. Okay, here. Practices innovation, you have 0.597 to be exact, but it is 0.6 lah. Okay, and if the supervisor maybe ask you, what is 0.6 mean? Okay, what is 0.6 mean? What is this 0.6 mean? What is this 0.34 mean? You go to AMOS, you press here. AMOS tells you when HRM practices goes up by 1, meaning that positive. service innovation goes up 5.597. This is the definition. You can copy this definition by more. Okay, in presentation, for example, you open this one. Okay, what is this? Standard error. The regression weight estimate 0.597 just now is a standard error of about 0.078. What is this? You press. This dividing the regression weight estimate by the estimate of the standard error give you Z. Z. Z is very powerful test. Instead of using T.
Just to remind you, we still have 9 minutes before 5.
Okay. So, here then you press here, what you get? Here it tells you whether the hypothesis is supported or not supported. I copy paste so that you can read better. Okay. I must give you the result for you to read, okay. The probability of getting critical ratio. Okay, in other words, the regression weight of HRM in the prediction of service innovation is significant. This is the most important thing. To show that your hypothesis is supported. The effect is significant. Okay? Yes. So what is you can simply you can learn on your own because this is a smart software. It tells you how about here, how about this one. You don't know, you press only. If you have go to R squared, for example, correlation, you go to square multiple correlation 0.783. Okay, 0.78. Okay, here you go to here, you go to press here. What is 7.78 here? For example, you don't know. What is 0.78? Go to the result. At this one, you just press here. Okay, I'm about to finish already. Okay. Okay. 7.8 mean, in other words, okay, the error variance organization performance is approximately 21 points of performance itself. You understand? Ni contohnya macam ni lah. Dia baca ni. 0.78, it is estimated that the predictors of organizational performance explain 70% of variance. In other words, dia kata, okay, predictors dia, service innovation, HRM practices, organization commitment, okay, estimate ataupun contribute 78% of organization performance. So, you don't do the, then you just press where you don't understand. Amos will explain to you. Okay. Maybe if I have time, I want to show you how to confirm the mediation using bootstrapping. Bootstrapping. Here is, go to here, you go to output, press here. In direct effect, you go to bootstrap. How many sample you want to use bootstrap? 5,000 sample, 5,000. Okay. How many percent correction? 95%. I mean, at 95% confidence. Bias corrected. Also, I want to be at 95%. Okay, finish. Which bootstrap you want? Bootstrap maximum likelihood. Okay, close. Then run. 5,000. No, takes time. See? Finish already. Then open the bootstrap result. Press here. estimate the indirect effect. Then HR apprentices to performance 0.541. What's the probability? Press here. 0.00. Very simple, very fast. Okay. You go again. Direct effect, for example, direct effect. Suppose that the data is not, for example, the data is not normal. So I want to project the direct effect between HR apprentices to performance 0.198. So beta is 0.198. Is it significant or not? Press here. Okay, press here. Hold on. Okay, standardized effect. Okay, so here the value is what? 0.574. Then only probability 0.000 probability. Mean the two-tailed significance. Okay. So okay, to me, that's why the university subscribed to this software. So I advise you all to make use of this software in analysis, so that student can economically, and at the same time, okay, this is parametric testing. Okay, PLSM is non-parametric. So parametric and non-parametric, the difference is very, very far. So in statistics, if I'm talking about from statistical point of view, okay, for statistician, they don't use parametric, non-parametric. They use only parametric because parametric is reliable, accurate, efficient. Accurate, efficient, reliable for parametric. For the laughing stock to the among the statistician community. See this one, parametric test. In SPSS, you can use non-parametric. Only one non-parametric, Wilcoxon test, Mann-Whitney test, okay, sign test, and a lot of tests. All are the non-parametric. Other than that, are all parametric. Okay. So I think that's it. I stop here, but I share a lot of material. You have a problem.
Okay.
You 99595 019 9595700. Thank you very much for listening. Okay.
Okay,
Any
thank you, Prof.
question?
Yeah, Prof, before we end, there is no question posted by the participants, but I would like to ask you something, Prof. Maybe this question normally been asked by the students to us. So what is the minimum sample size in order for the researcher to meet the requirement to analyze the model based on SEM? Because we
The
have
minimum sample, there's no minimum
we
sample.
have the different rules of thumb.
No. Just follow
There is
the
no
recommendation.
minimum.
No, follow the recommendation by
Can I hear you? Huh?
Follow the recommendation by sample size. At all, you can follow the what? And this you can use G power. You can use G power. You can use the what else? You can use G power. G power. You can use G power. You can use hair at all. Hair at all. No hair at all. You can use the a lot. Any recommendation from the book. In the book, you have a lot of recommendation. Okay. There is no. Just follow. No, there's no such. The recommendation. You may use the form in sample size determination. In statistics, you may follow the Craig Morgan. Understand? Hello?
Okay, Prof.
You can follow KG Morgan, you can follow Anderson, you can follow Hay et al. You can use G power, you can use statistical formula to determine the sample size. Because this is the parametric. You can follow any parametric rule of thumb. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Prof. So
Okay.
before for the session, I would like to maybe say something because Prof explanation is very comprehensive and a lot of things shared with us about the introduction, introduction to SEM, type of SEM, software that we use, why we need to employ SEM, and a lot of things, the validation of construct through CFA, and also the convert research framework lah into SEM and perform SEM. Thank you very much, Prof, for your sharing with us for today's session. So with that, before we end this session, I would like to request all participants to on your video, please, because Dr. Sazlin will take pictures for this program.
Okay, nice to meet you all. Okay. I'm sorry because I'm rushing. I prepare a lot of material, you know. I prepare a lot of material. You
Yeah,
can.
Prof. Yes. It's very good, Prof.
No, just now.
I use this in my research,
I
Prof,
want to,
in my PhD.
when I said PLSM, no, just now
Mm.
when I said PLSM, I'm not condemning smart PLS. I'm talking about method of PLSM. Understand no? I'm not talking about software. Method. When I say PLSM means method of PLSM. So like method OLS is a method, PLSM is a method, and SEM is a method. I don't refer to any software. Okay.
Okay, Prof. Thank you very much. Thank you also for sharing a lot of materials with us, with our students, and also with all lecturers that join our program today. Inshallah, if you have allocation to organize a face-to-face workshop, we'll contact you again, and we need your expertise. We need your expertise to help us in giving full understanding on the SEM, on how to apply SEM in our research. Okay, thank you again from IPTK, Prof.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you all participants. InsyaAllah, jumpa lagi di masa akan datang.
Dah ambil gambar ke?
Sudah.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Prof. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, semua participants.
Thank you.
Thank you all. I will share the recording in 2 days, insyaAllah.